Spark Books here. Today, I'm going to explain the book, How to Make People Like You in 90 Seconds or Less, by Nicholas Boothman. Take care, enjoy the book, and have a nice day. How to Make People Like You in 90 Seconds or Less, 2000, is a guide to connecting, communicating and expanding your social world. These sparks will teach you how to strike up a conversation with strangers and make them like you. It'll also show you how to decode even their most subtle gestures. Key idea number 1, socializing improves health and success. Since living in groups on the African plains, Homo sapiens have realized the benefits. Early people realized that hunting and cooking together would increase their chances of survival. We still crave connection. At cocktail parties, town hall meetings, or Star Trek events, we adore meeting people. Everyone has it. Bonding with others is not only natural but also good for our health. Good communicators live longer. Dr. Lisa Berkman of Harvard School of Health Sciences studied 7,000 patients over 9 years. Her findings showed that those without significant social or communal links were 3 times more likely to die of a medical ailment. Making new acquaintances extends life in other ways. Success requires it. A large social network can help you find a fantastic career, a new spouse, or a ticket to that sold-out Broadway show. Former coworkers will tell you about job openings, pals will set you up on blind dates, and an acquaintance may sell the ticket you want. Bonding has obvious benefits. However, socializing is difficult. It's challenging to connect with new individuals, especially without common interests. Additionally, you only have 90 seconds to make a first impression. If you don't catch their attention then, you probably won't. In 90 seconds, you can connect. You'll learn the abilities and hacks you need in the following sparks. Key idea number 2, when meeting someone, watch your body language, eyes, and facial expression. You know that the first few minutes with a new person are vital to creating a relationship, but did you realize that people develop a first impression of you before you ever speak? Your body, eyes, and face are the first things people notice, therefore they must convey openness. Body first. Position your body with your heart facing someone to show openness, honesty, and a willingness to connect. Next, stare into their eyes. Any successful first meeting requires direct eye contact to build trust. Last, grin first. Smile to show your optimism. You'll subconsciously convey sincerity and openness. Introduce yourself after setting a friendly tone. Avoid overthinking. Just say hello in a polite tone. Give your first name and ask them to introduce themselves. To remember their name, say Brenda instantly. Greetings, Brenda. Finally, gently lean toward the other person to show curiosity and openness. You can lean forward and shake hands or leave your hands by your sides. Key idea number 3, you need the appropriate mentality to connect with others. Talking about common interests is the best way to bond. Sports fans and bookworms are more likely to get along. What if there is no common ground? In such instances, build rapport intentionally. We'll explore numerous ways to do this in the next few of Sparks, but having the appropriate attitude, useful or useless, is the key. A productive attitude focuses on what you want from the talk, while a useless one doesn't. A helpful approach will naturally make you more likable. However, a worthless attitude leads to passive or negative body language that repels individuals. Thus, a helpful attitude is beneficial for improving relationships. How? Decide what you want from each conversation for a useful mindset. Thus, before starting a conversation, evaluate your aim and the best way to achieve it. Say your flight home for the holidays is cancelled. If you're useless, you'll worry about being stuck at the airport. You may shout at airline workers about how urgently you need a replacement flight. If you're helpful, you'll focus on finding someone to assist you get another flight. Screaming and shouting won't help, but being honest and likable to workers might. By focusing on a positive conversation conclusion, you'll instantly adopt the body language and grin that will endear you to individuals who can help you get another flight. Key idea number 4, open and consistent body language is liked and credible. As you know, a good mindset underpins good body language. What is effective body language? Body language is often open or closed. Open body language shows that you are eager to communicate. Thus, when two individuals talk with their hearts facing each other, they develop a strong bond and trust each other more. However, resistance, annoyance, impatience, and nervousness safeguard the heart in closed body language. Crossed arms shield the heart and feelings, making them a popular protective body language. Turning sideways to your discussion partner might also have a similar effect. Body language goes beyond your body. Your facial expressions are also open or closed. Open faces grin, make eye contact, and show clear expressions like raised eyebrows, while closed faces look severe and avoid eye contact. Inconsistencies will annoy people, therefore be consistent across your body to get trust and like. Former UCLA psychology professor Albert Mehrabian, a communication expert, says believability depends on the congruity of audible, verbal, and visual communication. Thus, your words, tone, and body language must match. If they're not, the other person won't trust you and you'll both feel bad. Imagine a friend saying fine with crossed arms and tapping his foot. He looks sick, which makes his words untrustworthy and awkward. Key idea number 5. Mirroring mannerisms is natural and can soothe people. Humans imitate. Since birth, your body rhythm has been synchronized with others. Synchronization persists into adulthood. Adults' clothing tastes are often influenced by their partners. Why? Is everyone a copycat? Adapting to others is natural. When someone smiles, you want to grin back. Yawns also make you yawn. If you've seen a boxer get pounded in the stomach, you know you'll wincing too. Our lives are synchronized, and creating rapport depends on that. After all, we choose like-minded folks. Studies have demonstrated that we prefer to hire and date people who behave like us. Synchronization to boost likability. What does it mean? It involves carefully emulating your conversation partner's gestures, body position, facial expressions, breathing, and tone of voice. Salespeople must synchronize since mismatched communication styles might ruin a pitch. Imagine a quiet man browsing an art gallery being approached by a pushy salesperson who stands too near, grips his shoulder, and gushily compliments the pictures. The salesperson should match the customer's quiet, courteous demeanor. If your conversation partner is quiet and you're louder, synchronizing your voices can be impactful. Lowering your voice will help your spouse feel more at peace. Key idea number 6. Good communication requires asking the correct questions and listening. You've learned how to make someone feel comfortable in your company using visual clues and tone, but what you say is as important. How do you start a conversation? Well, open-ended and closed-ended inquiries are great conversation starters. Open inquiries encourage conversation. You start a conversation with a stranger at a restaurant. What a great restaurant, and where do you believe the chef is from? Use who, when, what, where, how, and why to ask for an explanation or opinion. Closed questions, on the other hand, start with are you, have you, or do you. Asking a closed question like do you come here often, won't provide you much more than a yes or no. To maintain conversation, ask open questions. Asking good questions is only half the conversation. Active listening involves listening to the other person's words and emotions. How? Use plenty of eye contact, but don't stare. Listen with your body by facing your heart toward the speaker, lean in, and nod your head when you agree. When you speak, don't interrupt and warmly react. If your conversation partner says, I really like living in Chicago, but my husband got a promotion and we might move to Miami, you could add, wow, that seems like a major and stressful decision. How will you choose a home? Key idea number 7. Adapt your style to your conversation partner's sense. Neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, inventors Richard Bandler and John Grinder discovered in 1970 that humans filter stimuli through one of 3 senses: visual, oral, or kinesthetic. All people employ a mix of these 3 senses, but one always dominates, and knowing which dominates your conversation partner can substantially improve your rapport. Visual people value appearances. They think in pictures, dress well, and talk swiftly. These folks utilize phrases like how do you perceive yourself? And I see what you're saying. Auditory folks appreciate dialogue and sound in general. Thus, they prefer broadcasting, teaching, and law. Sounds familiar? Tell me more, and I didn't like his voice are common responses. Finally, kinesthetic persons enjoy tangible objects. They speak slowly and appreciate textured clothing. How do you feel about? And I'll contact her are common phrases. You can win someone over by responding to their dominant sense. If you dress well and speak swiftly, a visual person will like you. Auditory people prefer clear speech and a pleasant tone, while kinesthetic people prefer quiet, sensitive speech. How can you identify a learner? Watch their eye movement. If you ask someone what they loved best about their trip, a visual person will glance up to the left or right as if he's seeing the answer. An auditory person will look left or right, toward his ears, and a kinesthetic person will look down to either side, toward his hands and body. Thus, look at someone's eyes to determine how to communicate. You'll learn which sense they prefer and how to talk to them. From the minute you meet, you may endear yourself. A real openness and willingness to connect are crucial to your likability at the initial meeting. Speed matters. If someone doesn't like you in 90 seconds, you'll probably never click. To view more content like this, subscribe. Don't forget to like and turn on notifications. The channel really benefits from it. I appreciate you being here.